Welcome back, blade fans. This old sword is with you once again, and we have a new Benchmade in the house today, one I've been looking at for a while, and yes, I'm a bit late to the party, as they say, on this one. And that's simply because I had some similar blades. I have the Freak and I have the Griptilian and so on and so forth. You may not feel they're similar, but we'll take a look and do a comparison in a little bit. I like this blade. It is light. It is from S30V. It is large and hand filling. Let's take a quick look. I feel it is a nearly ideal EDC if you're into the axis lock. For those of you into flippers and thumb studs and, well, this is a thumb stud, flippers and liner locks and frame locks, then you may not like this, but it sports their CF Elite carbon fiber embedded FRN or fiberglass reinforced nylon, except it's not fiberglass, it's carbon fiber, but basically it's a resin with carbon fiber in there for reinforcement. It is very hard and rigid, and while it's not the most fidgety knife in the world, it rolls out nicely. It locks up drum tight, has the thumb studs, as I said, S30V, wide open construction with 3 barrel spacers, a lanyard hole, deep carry clip, transferable to the left side, and it does have the button top screws, but I haven't noticed that they really get in the way because we have a clip that's pretty high at that point. And it is the nice clip, not the shiny black coated clip where the enamel wears off after one day. So good clip. I think they've gone back to all of these now, which was their kind of their original clip, almost what you'd call kind of a blued clip. Wears a little better. So if you don't mind, then no big deal. You know, when I wear a knife every day, carry a knife every day, I don't care if it gets a little clip wear. Anyway, so pull back and fold it like that. I just give it a little more energy than that. You can flip it out, and they're a little tight at first. I played a little with the pivot until it is centered. It is free enough to flip open. As you can see, it's dead center, and it is smooth enough coming back. It does ride on washers, not bearings, and I'm not sure if I can show you that. Not really. Can't really get the light in there. Let's see. Yeah, there's not enough space to really show that clearly, but take my word for it, it's on washers. Most axis locks are, and it gives good stability. They don't gunk up as quickly as knives with bearings in them. Got a beautiful spear point blade that is matte, bead blasted, just a nice flat grayish kind of a finish. Comes through with an aggressive edge. It's got some teeth on it. And let's take some measurements. And let's back out so we can take those measurements. All right, so we've got 8 3/4 overall length. We've got 3 3/4 blade length. We've got a little less than that on the cutting edge. Blade stock in millimeters. What am I going to call that? Let's get it up here. 3.1. Thought it'd be a little thicker. And inches across the handle. .60, so not narrow, but you know, it's meant to be a working knife, meant to be an EDC knife. It gives you plenty to hold on to, and I wouldn't call it really too fat. It's contoured. It's got these really defined imprints on there in the molding process that gives you a lot of grip. Let's take a look at the weight. And I gotta get the scale on a level spot. Got a textured background, not the best for scales. Okay, so we got 5.0 ounces. We're going to simply call that 5 ounces. Not bad for a knife that size. Yes, there are lighter ones, but I think you get a lot of lightness out of that carbon fiber material, that CF Elite. It is, of course, reinforced with steel inside. And that steel is pretty heavily weight relieved on both sides. So they've done a lot to keep this knife light for almost a 9-inch knife at 5 ounces. Now it comes in a box. Yeah, it comes in a box. And what you get in the box is a nice sturdy Benchmade box. There is the label. These are USA made in Oregon. Comes with that underneath the clip, that it's an axis lock. Give you a little warranty pamphlet there. And you get your Benchmade sock, I call it. Little drawstring bag. Okay. So we're complete on showing you that. So I did say that it's a lot like the Freak, and I think you might agree. There's the Freak. Kind of almost clones of each other in some regards, except we got more of a spear point swedge on the Presidio 2. And we've got more of just a straight up flat grind. Presidio has S30V on the blade. Freak has S30V on the blade. And you can see some of the differences and similarities. While the Presidio 2 has the CF Elite handle, the Freak has this rubberized kind of coating with a hard center. Kind of an interesting mix. Now, if we bring out the Griptilian, it's going to be a little smaller knife. It's more around 3.5 inches. And overall length of about 3/4 of an inch less. Next to the Rat 1, I think we're going to have similar size. Yep. Pretty much spot on same length as the Rat 1. Rat 1's going to be a little thinner across the beam. A little bit more material there. But again, with it being so light, and by the way, you got some jimping here. With it being so light, you know, I really don't find that's a wide handle, and in the pocket it does not feel wide, and it does feel light. Another look at that texturing. Got these little dimples in here, got the lines going across here on an angle. As I said, they molded in the jimping, but it's also in the steel frame on the handle. So you don't have jimping out on the blade, but you got jimping here, which is a good thing. Got some jimping up here for your index finger. And rest of the knife is smooth all the way around. I think it's a handsome knife. I think it has a nice locking mechanism. Opens and closes with one hand. And has the potential to be a very useful everyday carry knife. Now the Freak is so far my EDC that sees a lot of use. Been sharpened a bunch of times, takes a pretty good edge. And I expect this would be about the same because it's Benchmade and it's S30V. And of course all these steels at one time or another were the latest and greatest. I mean, that's what time does, right? It was the latest and greatest one year, and next year nobody wants them because they don't like the name. You know, it's like D2. Oh, D2, everything's in D2. And I get on that soapbox every now and then. Really all I'm pointing out is that, ATS 34, that was the big deal at one time. That's a Japanese equivalent to 154 CM. Then 154 CM came along. Bob Lovelace made 154 CM very popular. I think they call it RWL 34 now or something like that. Basically his own little mixture of that particular steel. So, and now we're talking M390, we're talking S90V, we're talking CPM 20CV. I mean, these are all the buzzwords, right? I mean, are they steels or are they buzzwords? Do you sharpen your knife? Do you get a good edge on it? Is it hardened correctly? A lot of those things matter more than the steel. And a lot of people love Sandvik. So I'll get off the steel soapbox here. As I've always mentioned, a good resource, a good quick resource to look up a steel, learn a little bit about it, is an app called Knife Steel Compositions. And if you don't already have that, give it a try. It's a free app, and you can learn a lot about the steels, their compositions, and a little bit of written literature about some of their background and comparisons of that steel. Well, there you go. Benchmade Presidio 2. At long last, I have one, and I do like it. So it has my recommendation for a really nice EDC knife, multi-purpose EDC, tactical, what have you. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe. We'll be back with you real soon. Take care.